What's going on, Archivists? It's your boy Varni, and today I've got some gameplay for you. That's right, finally starting the gameplay reviews on this channel from the locals that I play in for both the CakeTCG and the Yeti Webcam locals. Today we're going to be doing me playing Fire Crux Lorraine, because it's what I've been playing, versus a Jhin OTK deck. The reason we're going to be doing this one is because A, it was very interesting, but more importantly, B, I've been trying to get some people at my locals to play Grand Archive with me, and the one person that I was talking to was very intrigued by the thought of Jhin OTK, especially because they were already interested in Jhin. So it kind of fits, especially fits their playstyle. Shout out to Jarrell. He is the real one. And also Marvin, because I know you're watching this too. So before we do that, please do drop a like if you like this video, subscribe so that you know when future videos come out, and drop a comment letting me know what you thought about Jhin OTK and also what I can do better. I know what I can do better. We'll get there, but what I can do better for my next match. Anyways, let's pop into it. All right, so we're going to be playing this back at 2 times the speed. This was, unfortunately for me, a 28-minute match that did not end in my win, but it is what it is. He starts off imbuing the Fractal of Rain and then goes into the Idle Thoughts. Fractal of Rain at the beginning of his Recollection phase allows target player to put the top card of their deck in the graveyard. It's a mill strat, and this is going to be targeting him because he is trying to get Floating Memory in his trash to be able to do his combo, which consists of Arondite and Jhin later on. Gosh, I forgot what the I forgot what the champion's name was. For me, I start off with my classic turn 1 combo, Hasty Messenger, discarding a Floating Memory to draw a card. Now, I would have loved to have the Stalwart Shieldmate, but it is what it is. I didn't know what I was playing against, so we dropped the Honorable Vanguard. We drew into that off the Hasty Messenger. Otherwise, yeah, I most definitely would have dropped the Honorable Vanguard first and then kept my Stalwart Shieldmate in hand, because that's typically the combo I go for, but I didn't have it. So here he goes. He gets the Fractal of Rain mill. I'm not sure what card that is because I'm still coming to terms with the Grand Archive card pool, but I'm pretty sure it's probably Floating Memory. And if it's not Floating Memory, well, he's going to get a ton of Floating Memory and trash anyways. Now he drops the Tidestone Bovide. So this is a card that also accelerates his mill strat, allowing him on attack to have target player put the top 2 cards into their trash and also, or their graveyard, sorry, and also has class bonus Floating Memory. So now he's at Jhin level 1, that Floating Memory is active. Not that it matters, he's gonna combo off soon anyways. I go into my Lorraine level 1, get my Sword of Seeking. I gotta deal with the Tidestone Bovide, so I do, because I'm trying not to take damage. Again, thought I was just playing against some sort of Jhin deck. I was like, why is it water? Why is it not wind or fire? We're gonna find out real soon. Play 3 cards for the Flame Rune Swordsman. I'm just like, all right, cool. If you're not going to deal with my board, I'm just going to put a ton of bodies on and I'm just going to swing at you for damage every turn. Little did I know. So now it goes over to his turn. He gets the Quicksilver Grail. On this, he's going to put under the Arondite, which is going to lead to his combo. So basically, he's going to get 2 materializations this turn. Now he plays the Dungeon Guide for just 2 because the Fractal of Rain does have reservable, meaning he gets to banish those 2 cards, which is pretty much whatever he chooses to go into his level 2. He now follows this up with a Kingdom's Divide. This doesn't affect me per se. He ended up choosing to call out Resolute Stand so that it would have cost 2 more to activate had I activated it. I don't have Resolute Stand in the deck. The better option would have been Deflecting Edge. I wish I had that. But now he pops the Quicksilver Grail to get out the Arondite. And yeah, we are about to get OTK'd. He is going to banish, I believe, a total of 5 cards. 4, 5, yeah, 5 cards. Arondite gets a refinement counter for each Floating Memory banished. So this is now an 11 attack sword with, I believe, Jhin's bonus of 1 or 2 coming in for 12 or 13 damage, and then Jhin in again for game. I was not expecting that. So recognizing that this was a very fast deck, I decided to go first. I'm trying to get myself set up. I want to get into my level 3 as soon as possible because I'm trying not to die. And while I believe I was able to get into my level 3, it didn't change anything. I had a really good turn 1 on a Creative Shock, draw my 2, get my floating memory and trash. Now on my next turn, I can go into my level 1 Lorraine, banishing that, get my sword, and start getting some combos going. He starts off with the Idle Thoughts, which allows him to look at the top 4 and put them back in any order, but it's also floating memory, which is obviously important for his strat. He gets his free level 1 into Jin, and then the combos start kicking off. So I decide to start off with Sansa. My thought process is, all right, I got to apply pressure, and I got to apply it faster than I was doing it before. So I put the Sansa on board, gives me an extra durability counter, so I get essentially a free swing. And then I Hone by Fire it so that I can get some more free swings. This sword is now coming in for 4 damage. Sansa represents 1. I've now put 5 damage on. And on my next turn, I put another 3 damage. And hopefully we can just keep piling it on. Unfortunately, it was not fast enough. So he goes for the backup charger here to get his extra card draw and the power cell token, which I believe he does fracturize to make it reservable. Yep, there it goes. The fracturize makes this a reservable, a cleric Fantasia that has reservable, which is nice for him, you know. Now he gets into Old Reliable again, Tightstone Bovine. Y'all saw this the first game, going to mill him his 2 cards, most likely floating memory, setting up that graveyard for Arondite. He then pays the memory for an extricating touch, which kind of sucks. I have obviously 3 deflecting edges in hand. I said, yeah, we're trying to mitigate some of that combat damage that you're going to be doing. But instead of trashing the deflecting edges, he goes for the Hone by Fire, which is an interesting choice to say the least, because yeah, sure, it is going to represent, you know, some more damage. But I was just like, no, I still have 3 deflecting edges in hand. So instead of going for my level 2, because I would have had to pay one of those deflecting edges, I go for the GCR. I know Clarent pretty much doesn't matter to me in this matchup. So my goal here is, let me get rid of that Bovine. Let me try to do some stuff. I do drop the Mystic Purifier, which is able to get rid of his Fantasia. I put that in because of the Fractal Rain in the first match. And then we just go Sunset in for 1. I thought he was, you know, he was on Spirit of Water still. I'm still representing damage here. I'm good. I've got time, right? I've got time, right? I did not have time. So he decides to do nothing with his turn, just passes it to me. I say, okay, well, I don't really want to go into my level 2 just yet, because again, I'm paying for stuff using my deflecting edges. Don't really want to banish them. So I decide to get the Clarent. It's going to give us an extra attack anyways, which can be useful. And now, you know, we're representing like, what, 4 damage on board once again? 2, 3, 4, yeah. Unfortunately, this turn is where I got greedy. So he pays for the fast cure, holds opportunity, pays for another fast cure, which to me was just like, oh man, I gotta start over again. That's basically how that was. It didn't matter that he fast cured as much as it actually mattered that that was more floating memory in his trash, which is going to hurt me next turn, you guys will see. So I believe at this point he counted 4 floating memory in trash. 1 was a class bonus floating memory, which he doesn't have. So I decide to drop the Honorable Vanguard, go Cremation Ritual to draw 2. Here's the problem with that play. I was debating this entire turn because I was like, can he kill me next turn? I don't think he can. I think I'm good for now. Based on what he has, he shouldn't have kill, not like he presented in the first game. So here goes the combo. We get Quicksilver Grail. We know he's putting the Arondite underneath. He's going to now play the Chilling Touch for all of 1, which is floating memory, unfortunately for me. And he's going to banish a card at random from my memory. It doesn't matter. It's just, really, this is just more floating memory in the trash for him. And then he's just gonna go full combo. And I was like, oh man, I didn't think about it. It is what it is. So now here comes the Dungeon Guide. He drops the 3/4 Dungeon Guide. Banishing 2 is going to go into the Jin level 2. And now he gets to banish the Quicksilver, get the Arondite, banish something else. Doesn't matter what he banishes, because on this Arondite on enter is going to banish the now, I believe, 5 floating memory it is in his trash. Yeah, 5 floating memory. Get those 5 refinement counters, go up to 10 with the Jin bonus. Yeah, he's just going to do major damage here. Unfortunately, I did not have my deflecting edges in hand, and this is where I lost the game for myself. If instead of being greedy on the Honorable Vanguard play into the Cremation Ritual, I had decided to hold up the cards in my hand, I would have held 3 deflecting edges. He represented, what was that? I think it was 12 attack, but because he was at level 2, it's basically 24 damage. I would have been able to prevent myself from dying that turn. I'm not necessarily saying that I would have lived on the following turn, but I wouldn't have died. And that's what's important here. With 3 deflecting edges, I would have been able to prevent essentially a total of 9. So I would have ate the first one, and then on the second one, he would have came in for 12. I believe I was sitting at, did he put me to 12 or was it 11? I think I took 12 total damage. I should have went to 13 and then I would have taken another 12. So 25. So the level 1 Lorraine, I think she was only sitting at 20 health. So I would have had to use 2 deflecting edges. I might have been better off using all 3 at that point in time, but it doesn't matter. I don't think I win on the following turn based on what I can remember I had in hand. It doesn't really help me. He didn't really put any allies on board, which is the one thing that I find is a problem for me playing the deck. It's trying to maximize when do I go into my level 2 just because I need to go into my level 2 compared to trying to get the on enter, on kill draw a card. That's one of my biggest problems. Sometimes I do get really greedy and I'm like, well, I don't want to go into my level 2 just yet because if I do, I'm not going to maximize this on enter. But there are definitely times where you just need to put that aside and say, I need to go into my level 2 because I need to get into my level 3. So it is what it is. We lost that game 0-2. If you guys like this video, please do drop a like, drop a comment letting me know what you thought about OTK. And also subscribe so that you know when future videos come out. I've got more gameplay videos coming your way, so be on the lookout for those. Thank you guys for watching, and until I talk to you guys the next time, peace out.